Get ready for action because we are kicking things off with an incredible run at Wrigley Field. The Chicago Cubs are rolling with an unbelievable 11-game home win streak. Michael Busch drove in 4 runs yesterday with a massive 3-run triple. We are talking about dominance as the Cubs look to make it 12 straight. Stick with us because we are diving deep into everything happening in the game right now.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we're taking you inside the legendary atmosphere at Wrigley Field. Senior MLB analysts Jordan Shusterman and Jake Mintz break down the amazing vibes and the unique experience of being in the bleachers. Hear their full conversation on the Baseball Barbie-cast podcast and subscribe wherever you listen to get the full scoop on the game day experience. Then we turn our attention to the Chicago White Sox and their surprising surge in the American League Central. ESPN gave the White Sox a modest letter grade for their April start, largely thanks to the incredible performance of first baseman Munetaka Murakami. We break down how Murakami is challenging records and what the rest of the team is doing to keep this momentum going. Finally, we look at the bullpen puzzle facing the Chicago Cubs. The team is searching for answers as they try to rejuvenate former Rockies relief arm Luis Peralta with a new waiver claim. We analyze Peralta's struggles and whether the Cubs can salvage his career before the bullpen troubles start to rear their ugly head. Don't miss the rest of the story. The Chicago Cubs are entering a high-stakes series opener against the Cincinnati Reds at Wrigley Field, riding an incredible wave of home dominance. The Cubs enter the matchup with a stellar record of 22 games to 12, boasting 10 games over .500, a 5-game winning streak, and an astonishing run of 11 consecutive victories at home, the longest streak since 2016. This momentum follows a decisive sweep of the Detroit Tigers yesterday, where key offensive contributions were made by Michael Busch, who drove in 4 runs, including a significant 3-run triple. Matthew Boyd also provided strong support with 6 quality innings. The Reds, meanwhile, arrive at Wrigley Field facing a challenging stretch, currently sitting at 2014 and mired in a 3-game losing streak. The matchup pits the Cubs' sustained home success against the Reds' current slump. Key offensive performances highlight the Cubs' hot streak. Michael Busch remains on fire, continuing to produce RBIs, while Ian Happ continues his impressive on-base prowess, having reached base in 24 consecutive games and contributing 8 home runs and 25 runs. The game itself reflected the intense atmosphere. The Cubs secured a 7-4 victory at Wrigley, solidifying their position. This win extended the Cubs' streak to a 6-game winning streak and marked their 12th consecutive win at Wrigley Field. The victory showcases the team's pitching strength, which managed 6 and 7 innings while allowing only 4 runs, despite the Reds scoring 4. The focus now shifts to whether the Cubs can extend this remarkable home run streak to 12 consecutive wins against the Reds. The question remains whether Michael Busch can maintain his hot streak, and if Ian Happ can extend his on-base streak as the Cubs aim for a truly phenomenal performance. Noi Dung Kai Tight. The Chicago Cubs are firmly entrenched in a dominant run at Wrigley Field, securing a decisive 8-4 victory, and extending their winning streak to 12 consecutive wins at the iconic ballpark. Senior MLB analysts Jordan Shusterman and Jake Mintz discuss the atmosphere and performance during their segment on the Baseball Barbie-cast podcast. /N Mintz shared his personal experience at Wrigley Field, contrasting his past role as a credentialed media member with his current experience as a fan in the bleachers. He described Wrigley as a unique environment, noting that while the neighborhood has changed, citing the disappearance of local spots like Taco Bell, the experience within the park remains special. Mintz highlighted the unique, almost collegiate or European soccer-like vibe of the bleachers, where the game is not secondary, and the atmosphere is highly interactive, with fans actively engaging with the action. /N he emphasized the refreshing nature of experiencing the game from the stands, contrasting it with the more formal setting of the press box, where he is often required to maintain a more professional demeanor. He recalled the joy of being able to relax, enjoy drinks, and sing along to the team's cheers. /N regarding the team's performance, analysts noted that while the pitching staff is dealing with injuries, the Cubs' core strategy remains intact, relying on elite defense to cook the ball over the plate. Despite some key players being sidelined, the team's underlying recipe is similar to previous successful seasons. While acknowledging that home games can see an uptick in home runs as the season progresses, the discussion centered on the Cubs' superpower, their defense. Analysts suggested that the team's exceptional defensive play is a potential differentiator, elevating the overall operation to a level where the need for a difference-making offensive hitter is lessened. The Chicago White Sox have earned a modest letter grade for their performance in April, despite facing a challenging landscape in the American League Central. Currently sitting third in the division with a 16-18 record, the White Sox find themselves in one of baseball's toughest divisions, where the Detroit Tigers and Cleveland Guardians are tied for the lead with 18-17 records, being the only teams above .500. The team's surge in the Central is largely credited to the breakout success of first baseman Munetaka Murakami. Signed to a 2-year, $34 million deal, Murakami has emerged as a highly valued player, recording a major league-leading 13 home runs. His performance has been highlighted by his batting average of .231, on-base percentage of .374, and slugging percentage of .564, positioning him as a strong contender for the American League Rookie of the Year award. Beyond Murakami's power, the White Sox have bolstered their roster with promising young prospects. Left-hander Noah Schultz and infielder Sam Antonacci were called up in April to provide a necessary boost to the team's stagnant performance. Outfielder Braden Montgomery was also called up to AAA, bringing him one step closer to the Major League roster. ESPN analyst David Schoenfield gave the White Sox a B+ for their April showing, emphasizing Murakami's impact. Schoenfield noted that Murakami presents a significant threat to break single-season strikeout records. He also pointed to other contributors, including the debut of pitching prospect Noah Schultz, home run production from Carlson Montgomery, and the on-base skills of Miguel Vargas. While the White Sox face significant depth concerns in both pitching and lineup depth, Schoenfield suggested the team is positioned to avoid 100 losses and potentially challenge for a .500 record. However, the context remains sobering. The White Sox have lost over 100 games in each of their last 3 seasons, including a major league record of 121 losses in 2024. Despite the difficult divisional standing, the team has found a positive start, offering a glimmer of hope in a historically tough environment. The Chicago Cubs are actively seeking bullpen reinforcements as they navigate a tight race in the NL Central, despite a recent series sweep over the Arizona Diamondbacks. While Daniel Palensha has returned to the active roster, the team continues to grapple with thin pitching depth, with several starters and relief arms remaining on the injured list, forcing roster adjustments. The Cubs have managed to maintain a strong 15-3 record in their last 18 games, but the division remains fiercely competitive, raising concerns about potential bullpen instability. In an effort to address these needs, the Cubs secured potential help by claiming Luis Peralta off waivers from the St. Louis Cardinals. Peralta had recently been placed on waivers by the Rockies before joining the Cubs' division rival, St. Louis, where he was subsequently designated for assignment. The Cubs are now planning to work on Peralta's development in AAA before considering him for a shot at Wrigley Field. Peralta's recent performance has been underwhelming. His start this year with the Rockies' AAA affiliate saw him record a 17.18 ERA across 6 appearances, allowing 14 earned runs and struggling with strikeout numbers. This follows a challenging 2025 season with Colorado, where he posted a 9.47 ERA over 22 outings, allowing 20 earned runs against a .325 average. Despite these struggles, the Cubs are taking a chance on Peralta due to his underlying talent. He is a former top 18 prospect in the Rockies system, possessing a high-upside fastball in the mid-90s with solid movement, complemented by a curveball that can drop into the low 80s. His strong showing in 2024, where he posted a 0.73 ERA and a 28.6% K rate in 15 games, attracted interest from other teams. The primary hurdle for Peralta remains command. Lacking significant extension, he needs pinpoint accuracy, as his fastball has reportedly drifted too high, potentially inviting easy contact from batters. The focus now shifts to the Iowa Cubs pitching staff to refine his mechanics and maximize the potential of his plus fastball to salvage his career trajectory.